All right, so here's how tonight's going to work. For the next 45 minutes, we've got talks like this one. Then you get a break for about 20 minutes. Then there's some more talks, and then you don't have to go home, but you can network here. Um, Hands up if you've ever been to a night before. Do it real fast, real fast. So each of these slides are 15 seconds. There's going to be 17 speakers tonight, so 5 minutes each speaker. It's brief. I'm going to be talking about cities. Several years ago, I took off from Portland and spent about 6 months living out of a suitcase. And in that time, I visited some cities that have their own kind of interesting tech and startup cultures. This first city, this mystery city that I want to talk about, it's got both your B2B, your businessy startups, as well as consumer startups. You've got a little bit of everything there, and their startup scene has really grown. It's turned into the kind of place that on any given night of the week, you'll find an event for a programming language or a web framework or hardware hacking demo or something like that. There's always something going on. It's a city that a few years ago investors were passing up or maybe just passing through, and these days firms are opening up offices there. They're there all the time. It's a city that is young. You might even call it a hipster city. People are moving there from all over the world. They're attracted by the quality of life, the interesting jobs. Has a lot of appeal. The flip side of that is that as it's become more popular, rents have gone up, and that's pushed some people out of the city or out onto the streets, and it's put a dent in kind of the creative class that made the city popular in the first place. So where am I talking about? It sounds like it could be Portland, right? You got a lot of the same things going on here. We've got an interesting startup culture. We've got more interest from investors. We've got people moving here from all over the world. And we've got some problems that we're trying to work out. But I'm actually talking about Berlin. So I spent about a month living there the summer of 2012. Super interesting, and I was really lucky to be able to spend time with a bunch of the companies around the city. One thing that Berlin has going on that's really cool, you ask people kind of what they're proud of in their tech scene, and they have this long history of hacking and hardware hacking. There's groups like the Chaos Computer Club that have had offices there for ages. Berlin also has this really interesting art and music and fashion scene, and that kind of keeps the techie folks mingling with the creative types, and it seems to keep things from getting stale there. Another city that I visited later the same year is London, and London has been Europe's kind of startup capital for a good long while. But I asked folks around London, which companies in town are you excited about? Who of your friends are doing cool things? And I kind of just got blank stares, even from folks who are really, really well connected in that community. London had their reputation, but not the passion. But we're not in Europe. We're here in Portland, in the U.S. And even so, I still think that there's some lessons that we can learn from what's going on in these cities around the world. We really get judged by the yardstick of San Francisco and Seattle. We're constantly compared to those two cities. I think we're the Berlin to the London of those respective larger cities and their tech communities. And some folks here in the business community, they get frustrated at kind of the keep Portland weird mentality. But I think it's the city's uniqueness that has made it appealing, and I think we need to stay true to that. I've been telling the companies that I invest in and advise for months that winter is coming. There's going to be a tech contraction. You can see it in the big banks writing down some of their big tech investments. I think times are about to be tough for a little while. And when times get tough, a lot of people look around and they copy what the next guy is doing if it looks like he's successful. So you get a lot of bad copies. And that's one way to survive, but I don't think it's a great way to succeed over the long term. So, you know, my message is, you know, pilot your own ship. Stay true to yourself, stay true to the vision that you have for your businesses and for the city. I think that's where the rewards are in the long term. So, thanks a lot.